Now this is a place that looks like you're on another planet. We were here last May, and all these parks that we found last year on our trip, I just happened to find them on Google Maps. I've never heard of this place. I didn't know what to expect. The only thing I knew after checking on the campground is that it is not reservable. So we thought we'd take our chances and see if we could get a spot here. So we left early from the last place, and we got here probably about 10 a.m. And it's a self check-in. It's $35 a night for non-resident. And right up here, we're going to drive into the park and we'll show you what it looks like. There are 22 sites at this campground, some and mostly electric and water. They do have an overflow parking. I think you could probably fit 5 or 8 RVs in case you have to wait for a spot to open up, because you can only camp here for 14 days in a row. So we drove in here and it was looking not so good. Every spot was taken. But as soon as we got around the curve here, all of a sudden a camper had just left. Talk about luck. Right there on the left, so we found a spot. Now, first thing we like to do when we get to a campground, if we can, is get our bikes off the Jeep and go tool around and investigate and explore the area. Because we want to get over there to see what the Cathedral Gorge is all about. And we'll see that in just a minute. Now, this area is the overflow parking. No electricity, no hookup, so you do want to be able to use solar. Now, we were here in May of last year, which was perfect weather. It's nice, cool evenings. It did get probably in the 80s during the day. They do have a lot of wildlife. There's a lot of birds, coyotes, rabbits, snakes, all the little things you might find in the desert. They've got just the right amount of trees for shade. I highly recommend this park. I did hear, let me go over this, I did read last year that Nevada may be changing their state park rules, I guess you would call it, because none of them are reservable, but they were going to change that so you can reserve them in 2023, so that would be a plus. The other thing about this park are the night skies are just gorgeous. You can definitely see the Milky Way most every night if it's a clear sky, just like this photo that I took here.
Maybe a little shorter walk.
Yep. You don't have to go far.
It makes you a little nervous getting back there.
Makes you wonder if they fall over. So you might be wondering what all this is. The Cathedral Gorge. Well, it's actually called spires, and they create these buff-colored cliffs all around here, which is the result of geological processes occurring millions of years ago. But all this beauty enjoyed today by us had a violent beginning, starting with explosive volcanic activity that with each eruption deposited layers of ash hundreds of feet thick. So now this area, you can walk in here. It's pretty cool. There's lots of tunnels. You can walk through them, and it's, you know, when it's hot outside, it's really cool in here. Almost cold, like you need a coat. But this is called bentonite clay.
This is so cool.
If you touch it or kind of, you know, tap it a little bit, it sounds hollow inside.
Is it a dead end?
He just walked back there. He said, that's a big fat fail. Because some of these areas just have a dead end. And some you got to suck your gut in because it gets pretty narrow as you walk through here. Now, this here, I've got my GoPro on top of these spires here. If you use your imagination, doesn't it look like maybe you're at the top of a mountain somewhere out in the desert? When these spires here, kind of like I put this fake little icon here to make it look like size, you know, compare the size of it. But it's actually, these little spires here were only like 6 feet tall. So if you ever happen to get over to Nevada and you want to look up Cathedral Gorge State Park, it is a pretty cool area to see. It's not something that's probably you're not going to find anywhere else except right here. Well, we're going to head back to our campground. The one thing about this place, there's lots of hiking. If you like to get out and walk around and explore the desert, this is a great place for that. Now next week it'll be part 2 of Cathedral Gorge State Park, where we'll show you a little more drone footage and walk you around in the valley at Miller's Point. So I want to thank you for watching, and as always, I hope to see you next time on Adventures Outdoors.